For comedy. She actually did a show with her last Wednesday, the Matt Wright. You know Matt Wright? You should know Matt Wright. He used to be a writer for this RS 22 Minutes. He's a friggin' hilarious comic, and we opened for him, and she killed it. So you know what? Let's give a warm round of applause for Ashley Perna, everybody.
Hey guys, thank you all for coming out to the very first Comedy at Cobbers. I especially want to thank Tom, who's here past his bedtime, for making it out. Thank you. No, seriously guys, I know that it is so much easier to stay home and not do stuff than it is to go out and do stuff, so thank you for coming out. And that's actually probably why I think dating apps become so popular, because it is so much easier to just sit and scroll through and look for your next partner while you're at home. And you don't need to put on makeup or leave the house or even put on pants. It's fantastic, right? Speaking of dating apps, they have come a long way since they were first introduced, haven't they? Like when they first came out, people pretty much primarily used them to find someone willing to have disappointing sex with them. Like, you know the kind where he jackhammers you for 1:18 seconds before flopping on top of you like a dead fish and having the audacity to ask if you came? Yeah, like that. And you guys can definitely trust me on the history of dating apps. I'm absolutely not bragging here because fuck would brag about this, but I have spent approximately decades of my life scrolling through Kingston's Most Eligible, the way that most people look for shirts. You know, this one seems nice, and this one's probably going to be too clingy, and this one will definitely leave me once I develop feelings for it. You guys know how it goes with shirts? Yeah. I mean, clearly I'm not the online dating expert that other people are. As it turns out, awkward as fuck is not the super desirable quality that Zooey Deschanel movies led me to believe it would be. But I am really happy to say that I've recently deleted all of those apps off my phone, and don't misunderstand me, I am bragging here, but I met someone. Yeah, and stunned silence once you know who my boyfriend is definitely the right reaction there. But no, I met him, and not even on one of those stupid apps I gave myself carpal tunnel syndrome scrolling through. No, I met him the good old-fashioned way. I developed a workplace crush, skirted company sexual harassment policies, and embarrassed myself in front of him until he had no choice but to fall for me. That could not have happened through text alone. Seriously, guys. Seriously, the first time I met my older, taller, cooler than me in that he was his high school quarterback and I used to eat lunch in the art room kind of way boyfriend, I called him a little boy and ran away, and he still wants to date me. I challenged Zooey Deschanel to pull that off through a dating app. But maybe I shouldn't be so mean to them. I mean, you can use things like Bumble for so much more than just disappointing sex. You know, for example, it can be used to network, or to find your BFF, or if you're like most of the men I matched with there, find a therapist. Now, trust me guys, fucking me is not gonna fix you. I've been having sex with myself for years, and I am still very messed up, but for some reason, thanks guys. But yeah, for some reason, I seem to primarily match with men who mistook vaginas for licensed psychologists. And sometimes, I didn't even get to have any of that disappointing sex first. Like when I matched with Marcus. Now, Marcus knew the difference between your YOU''RE and your YOUR, so I was instantly smitten. We started talking on the phone daily like teenagers with voices. Things were absolutely amazing. I was killing it. I mean, sure, the fact that most of our conversations were about his upcoming divorce probably should have been a ginormous red flag, but I mean, if he laughed at my jokes, then things were good. group chat with 7 other women. Hey guys, smiley face emoji. Thanks so much for all your support. I'm ready to move on with Stephanie now, and I just couldn't have done this without you. So, I had a few questions. I mean, the first was like, did I just get group dumped? And the second, who the fuck is Stephanie? Incidentally, Stephanie is also the name of the first girl who ever ghosted me. Now, with Stephanie, I had finally understood what Tegan and Sarah were singing about, and what Emily Dickinson was writing about, and what the term U-Haul lesbian meant. And yeah, so only some of you were queer enough to get that joke, but it is gonna kill somewhere, and I'm gonna keep it in my act until then. But for real, things were great. Until one day we had this really deep conversation, and she was asking me about the genders of my past sexual partners. And I just didn't come up with the right vagina to dick ratio required to get a date. Or, like, a reply. But, I mean, still, like, I've had way worse experiences with online dating. My very first Tinder date was so bad that I literally went home and Googled whether or not you have to be Catholic to join a nunnery. And by the way, as it turns out, you do, because back then, even God didn't want me to commit to him. Another time, I was aggressively ghosted. This guy had messaged me and then blocked me on every app we had ever used to communicate on. I am not kidding. He blocked me on the Fitbit app. Like, dude didn't just ghost me, he fucking poltergeisted me. So, those experiences at one point led me to think that maybe I should just remove men from my search settings. Now, don't get me wrong, my dudes. I am all about hashtag not all men. I'm the mother of a son. I can sympathize with some of you the way you sympathize with us, I guess. I don't know. But when you get to swiping, some of you turn into Harvey fucking Weinstein. Like, all unsolicited dick and shitty messages. And I can illustrate this with a few actual first messages I've received. First was, hey cutie, followed by, when are you gonna send me some nudes, angry face, 5 minutes later. Hey, at 8:05. Hey, at 8:10. Hey, at 8:12. Hey, at 8:13. Fuck you, bitch, be social already, at 8:15. And, are we gonna make mixed race babies now or later? And the most confusing part about that message was that the dude was whiter than I am. I don't understand why guys think that approach will work. I mean, I'm busy. I've got shit to do. Watchmen is out on HBO. I've got work to procrastinate doing. I've got panic attacks that quite frankly are not gonna have themselves. I'm sorry guys, I'm swamped. And even if I did have time, there is a perfectly nice man waiting for me to counsel him through his divorce on Bumble. Like, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, I eventually removed men. Unfortunately, at the time, I was about as good at keeping girlfriends as the liberals are at keeping seats. Probably because all I did was jackhammer them for like a minute 18 seconds before flopping on top of them like a dead fish and asking if they came. Thanks guys, my name's Ashley.
Ashley Brennan, everybody. Give